Should we start? No? Ladies first?
No, say it, because I think it sounds really nice with your accent.
What, Archwell Audio?
Yeah.
Archwell Audio.
I mean...
Really?
Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Today is December 25th, 2024. It is 4:47 a.m. This is video number 2. Merry Christmas. I'm up, so I'm using my time to record some stuff that I see some people are talking on Twitter. And then later on, once everybody's up, then I'll just go hang out with the family. So, yeah, my youngest is sick, so we didn't go anywhere. He's not feeling well. And if my oldest is gonna get sick, he better get sick before he goes back to school. I don't want him to take any days off. But anyway, so I just finished uploaded this video, that's part 3 on the Blake Lively PR thing. There were some tweets that I sort of, if you hear that noise, that's my keyboard, I'm moving. Because when I'm recording, I hear it a lot. But anyway, yeah, I finished edit that and I uploaded it, and it was a long recording, so I separated it into 3 parts. And then now what we're gonna cover, I did one video earlier that talks about Amber Heard after the Blake Lively situation popped up on the media, and for some reason Amber Heard's situation popped up. And I guess they were trying to put her in good light or whatever, but the people are not having it. So I grabbed a couple tweets to share with you. That's on video 1. Okay, so in this video, we're going to focus solely on 688. It's a movie that Tyler Perry wrote and directed. So let's look at the background. I picked this copy and before I go on Twitter. All right, so this is uploading. Let's open a new tab. Okay, 4,465 subscribers, new subscribers, welcome. Estimate revenue, $84.20. Analytics, okay, 1,013 views in the last 48 hours. If you are new, the reason I do that is just to keep a record of it, because YouTube is not really treating my channel somewhat fairly. But anyway, let's go on Twitter. So let me pause. I'm sorry, it will be a screenshot. I cannot share the full video in its entirety. Otherwise, YouTube is gonna flag my video. Okay, so I'll go through it really quickly here. All right, this is what they're showing. There's the images. Oops. But now, once I play it, it will be a screenshot. We will just listen to what the video is saying. Oops. All right, who else is feeling inspired by the 6888 film? In 2018, we share a clip about the resilience of the 6888. Fast forward, we're celebrating the film, which brings their story to life. It's a tribute to the incredible all-black and all-female battalion. Okay, 49 seconds. I don't think I want to go to all of the comments. Well, it's not that much. Let's listen.
They were known as the 6888, more than 800 African-American women marching through Birmingham in 1945. Their mission, to sort out a mountain of mail piling up for the frontline troops.
It was very, very important. Very important. And sometimes we would have groups of women working all night long.
Elizabeth Barker Johnson is 98 years old.
Wow.
In 1945, she was 25. and working in temporary barracks at the King Edward School, Edgbaston. Nearly all these women had never left the United States before the war. They might not have fought battles against the enemy, but they overcame racism and sexism long before those issues became popular causes. They were known as the 6888, more than 800 African American women marching through Birmingham in 1945. Their mission to sort out a mountain of mail.
I'm sorry, it's playing over. I was so caught up to it. So it's playing over. These are things I don't think they teach it in the history books. My goodness. Okay, everyone who saw the film, we are beyond inspired. We are lift up higher and higher. 6888 movie. I don't know, is it on Netflix? Me, excellent film produced and cast. A worthy tribute to pioneering selfless public servant. Love it. Amazing story. Love it. Cry at the end. Awesome tribute. OMG. They sorted some mail and much so inspired. Somebody gotta do it. I wanted to be in the Navy. And the Navy, the part of the Navy that I wanted to be in was the engineering aspect of it, where when they go to certain places to build bridges, whatnot. That's what they told me. Okay? But the only reason I didn't join is because of, I thought, okay, I did the test, I did everything that needed. But when it's time to sign up, and I was thinking, wait a second, I'm going to be in the middle of ocean with a bunch of guys. There will be women too. But the thing that prevent me from moving forward, and I was like, if something happened to me, I was thinking mostly of raping. Okay? Where will I go in the middle of the ocean? This is the only reason why I didn't join. But when you are the opposite team or opposite military, when they're killing, they don't distinguish, oh, you're not in the front line, you're not this, you're not that. They see you as part of the other one. You are American. They're going to kill you. It doesn't matter. Someone had to do that. There's cooks in the military. You're going to say, oh, you're only in the kitchen cooking and all of that. You're not in the front line. But guess what? The troops need to eat. Okay? They need fuel. They need to fuel their body. So there's different aspect of things within the military that makes it work. So people could put whatever down, but it still is what it is. There's nurses. Okay? I remember in one videos, I talk about that. And what is it? This is the thing. I remember what it was. The nurses who was treating the German. Okay, let me see if I get it. It's in one of my videos. They did not want the white female nurses to treat the Germans because they didn't want the German to. They just didn't want them to, I guess, fall in love or do things or whatever the reason may be. Okay. Instead, they used the African Americans to treat the German soldiers, POWs. Within that, a nurse, an African American, fell in love with a German. And then it went on to explain their whole situation. They can't live in peace in the U.S. because of whatever. Then he moved back to Germany with a wife. Okay, the reason they did not like her in Germany, the Germans did not like the American wife, not because of her race, but because of what America did to them. But it was during a war. But the whole point for bringing this up is because there are different positions, there are different things within the army, the service. You know, it seems like this comment was putting down the women who were doing the mail. Meanwhile, those soldiers who are in the front line, their mind, you know, I don't know how it is to be in the military. I do not know. Now with social media, things that you are seeing happening in Russia, there's some of the soldiers with their phone, they're online or whatever. But back then, those letters were what some, in my humble opinion, what keep the soldiers being optimistic to know what's going on back home while they're facing those devastating situations, seeing bodies and limbs and all of that. That's my humble opinion. You can never put anybody down for the things that they do. You know, it helps in some shape or form. It may not help you personally, but it helps those who were in the front lines. Oh my goodness. I talk about it in one of my videos, but let's leave that alone. Let's go to the next tweet. Still focusing on 6888 movie. So when you're not in the front line, you're not part of it, you can't put people down, because every little thing that makes the system work, it's worth cherished and respected, including even in, let's say, we're not talking about military, just in general. Okay, you have garbage men, people's cleaning the street. If they didn't have these people doing these, you'll be walking around and full of garbage. So people need to respect. This is the part here. Respect every individual, no matter what they do or who they are. But the lack of respect is unbelievable with people. All right, next tweet. So this is Netflix Canada. Kerry Washington's delivery of this monologue in the 6888 left me speechless. Okay, 1 minute and 27 seconds. Screenshot. I'm sorry. All right, go watch it. Oh, it's on Netflix, I guess. All right, let's listen.
I think I'm gonna have you relieved of your duties. And I'm gonna bring a white lieutenant in here to show you how to run this unit.
Over my dead body, sir.
What did you say?
Sir, with all due respect, my battalion is working day and night in horrible conditions. We have no heat most of the time. Gets so cold that the women have to put the water in helmets to wash themselves. You gave us this place to turn into a barracks with no bed and no help. And my women are harassed. And then they are befriended only to be asked if they have tails under their skirts after midnight because of the rumors of white soldiers. You sent a chaplain not to pray, but to spy on us. We just lost 2 soldiers to a UXB who were highly trained, and I know because I trained them, and you wouldn't even give the orders for them to have a proper burial. Now, I know we are fighting a war, but our war starts with being Negro. We are fighting on every front. So as I said, sir, over my dead body, sir.
Wow. Wow. It's almost like, what's this guy? You Can Handle the Truth. That's what this remind me. I just blocked this person. Okay. Wow. Amazing. All right. This is something else. Oops. Let's pause this. All right. There's another clip here. I believe it's an interview of Tyler Perry. Let's listen to this. Screenshot with every videos. I am sorry about that. There's no comment. Okay, the serendipitous event that led Tyler Perry and Kerry Washington to make the 6888. All right, so let's listen. Oh my God, 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Okay, so a mini review. The serendipitous event that led to make the 6888. Tyler Perry and Kerry Washington tell the lesser known story of the 6888, the 855 black women who served in World War II, and why it was important to them to bring this story to life. Okay, so let's listen. I didn't know it was that long. Okay, 5 minutes. Screenshot.
First off, congratulations, but also thank you for telling this story. This is a story that, growing up in the classroom, we don't see enough black stories told. As a filmmaker, what inspired you to tell this story?
Well, first of all, when Nicole Avon called and said, listen.
Okay. First of all, on my part, there's a music in the background. So I'm sorry if you hear a different music, 2 different type of music playing, but I try to pay attention to the people who's moving their mouth. Well, I'm sorry, you won't be seeing it, it will be screenshot. But the people who's talking, the audio part that is louder, that will be the person who's talking.
Watch the scissor reel. I call her up and go, you gotta be kidding me, man. This is real. There were 855 black women in the military in World War II, and nobody's talked about them. So I wanted to get involved from that point of view, but also when I flew to Vegas and met Lena King, who was 99 years old at the time, who was a surviving member of the 688, I knew I had to go all in, so yeah.
The Postal Battalion? They think the only thing we good for is to deliver some damn mail.
Okay, so there's a possibility I may not share the part of the movie due to copyright, so I don't want YouTube to flag the entire video, okay? I'll see what I could do. I'll play it to the best of my abilities, and if YouTube blocked it, I'll just cut it. That's all.
Would you like to see all the hangars, ma'am?
How many are there?
All of them.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately, so many people, including myself, have never heard the 6888. Did you know about this story before you took on this role?
No. In fact, the weirdest thing happened. It was, I think, maybe a Thursday or Friday, and Tyler Perry said, I want you to watch this sizzle reel. It's something that I think we could work on. And I thought, okay, that's great. I'll watch it on Monday. I have a really busy weekend. So I sort of set it aside. That weekend, we were filming something for my social media called Black Herstory, and I dressed up as Lena King. My social media director found an article about the 6888, Emily Kitching. She brought it to me. I read it. I thought, this is amazing. Yes, let's dress up like Lena. She's one of the surviving members. We did this cute photo shoot, and then a couple days later, I opened up the sizzle reel, and it's a whole film about the 6888. And I had chills because even just doing that little bit on social media, I was like, this is so cool to dress up in this costume and kind of step into this point in history. I didn't know that people that looked like me had played a role in World War II in that capacity. So when I watched the sizzle, I talked to Tyler immediately. He told me he wanted me to play their captain, Charity Adams, and I was like, let's go. There were so many scenes that felt overwhelmingly emotional. I think because we really wanted to make sure that we were honoring these real women and their legacy. And so the pressure felt high. The stakes feel very real for people to not just know this story, but to know the gravity of what these women sacrificed and what they accomplished felt huge. We all really loved shooting the big dance party scenes. I think it was important to remember that these women were also human and that they laughed and they danced and they sang and they drank liquor and that they were real people, right? And so those couple of days were very rewarding for me because I felt like we got to really kind of breathe life into their joyful humanity.
This was a true story. These characters were real women, and so we had a much more, I guess, rich arsenal's an interesting word to use for a World War II film, to pull from. I mean, Lena was a real person. I say was because she did pass this year, but she was 100 years old, and she lived, and she was a nurse after the war. She was a dress designer after. She lived a very full life, so this, I get emotional talking about it, so I'm gonna try not to during this, but yeah, it was special. It was different. It was my first time playing a person who I could speak to like this.
Yeah. And what was it like when meeting her and getting to have those experiences and talk about her experience?
You know, she had such a calmness and eloquence about her that was disarming. I think for someone who's been through as much as she's been through, she outlived both husbands, she outlived her children, she of course outlived so much of the battalion, and she lived to see, though, the film. She did see the film. It just premiered. I know we had a premiere yesterday and the film's coming out on the 20th, but she did see the film, so she knows that this story is going to be out in the world, and I think she was so joyous about that. I'm happy. I think that we've made her proud. I think that we've made the battalion proud, so that's all that I can wish for. As
an actress, was there a sense of pressure knowing that you're
Yes.
playing someone that is going to watch this?
Yes. No, it was. I know I didn't let you finish that question, but I was like, yes! No, absolutely. I was very nervous. I have a lot of respect for women. I was raised by women, and I have a lot of respect for Black women because I know what that is as a Black woman to live and walk this earth. And so for me, I was very eager to meet her and get a sense of who she is outside of a script. Who is she outside of this dialogue? Who was she at 17? Who is she now? And funny enough, I do think she had a lot of the same characteristics that she must have had at 17 years old, because she was sweet, she was pure, and she was just grateful. And that's something we can all learn to be.
It took me 2 weeks to write it, and the reason it took such a short amount of time is because
2 weeks. I'm telling you, sometimes when you in the moment, your mind is set. I remember he spoke about another film that he wrote. Was it him or someone else? From a flight, I believe, from wherever in the U.S. to another country. It took him that long to write it. Was it one of the media? Oh my goodness, 2 weeks? Unbelievable. But let's continue.
Because I had incredible historians, and sitting down talking to Lena for those several hours, the stories she told me, and doing all the research and getting all the research about Charity Adams and all these things that happened, all of that was in me. So when I sat down to write, it just flooded. For me, it was really powerful, and I filmed her watching, and she was on hospice at the time at home, and she just cried, and she saluted, and she was just like, thank you for letting the world know that Black women contributed.
Unlike some other folks here, we have the most to prove. Now is where you show the proof. This is our mission.
Wow.
And we will not fail.
Okay, at the end there's a music. Obviously, I'm gonna mute it. There's no comment. Let's go to the next tweet. Wow, this is very powerful. I'm probably gonna watch it later. Right, the 6888 left me in absolute awe and in tears. The courage, resilience, and sisterhood of these unsung heroes is portrayed so beautifully. It's emotionally inspiring and a must watch. And the thing what's happening with America, forefathers. Okay, let's remove, okay, let's pretend, because this is what they taught us, they didn't mention any African American who helped build the country as a whole. Okay, remove that. But let's pretend what we know now, what they portrayed America is. After all those world wars, fighting Nazis and all of that, and they made sure to not teach their people, their kids, about what their forefathers fought for. This is why we are in a situation where we are now, where we don't even value our own democracy. This is the thing here. Okay? You hear so many people, oh, we want freedom this, freedom that. Meanwhile, they're voting for people who's taking away their freedom without even knowing it. Now, put this into perspective. Now, let's bring this movie into perspective. The reason why African Americans usually vote the right way is because we continuously facing those barrage of inequalities. African Americans are the one who's holding on to democracy, when the rest of the world, who right now are still fighting, let's say Georgia, who's, you know, there's things going on around the world, you need to check, okay, want democracy. And when the U.S., not now, but before, was holding on, was the beacon of freedom and everything like that, it's because of African American. Okay, I'm not gonna say not whites were not part of it, but they are. Okay, because when you look at who were a couple presidents and representative and all of that, so you could see there were a good portion. But when it comes to vote, to put these people in power, we tend to look at the substance of things. Who represent the substance of what we need the country to be, or who will help us. But majority, let's look at McConnell, for instance, in Kentucky. Right? He's from Kentucky. Consistently being voted for. Let's look at Ted Cruz in Texas. Consistently being voted for. Is he for the people? This is what I mean by that. But the U.S. is going in a different direction. I do not know. And I have hope. Do some vision. I don't know. I'm believing on my vision, but we shall see. I may sound crazy on that part, okay? My members will know. I share those videos with my members. All right, let me see this here. Agree. Excellent film, production, and cast. Okay, so that was that. And this is an ad. Let's go to the next one. When you look, there's a video that I saw on Netflix where I don't know which world war, the French really, I think there's a time they celebrate it and they teach their young kids how the American came to save them and all of that. We don't, yes, we celebrate 4th of July and all of that, but non-specific. I don't want to go too deep. Maybe I'm the one who's not explaining it properly, but pretty much in school, they don't teach the kids about their history. They don't teach them enough and make them value their history as much. And I believe some states, each state have a different rules and regulation about what can be taught within their state. So this is another problem. But the key thing here is valuing their history. That's the problem with a lot of Americans, because there's so many people who've fighting so hard to help sustain democracy. And then there's the law, which is not equally under the eyes of the law, treat every citizen. So many of them take their freedom for granted, thinking it's gonna be like that all the time. Meanwhile, there are others, like African American, who consistently fighting to uphold democracy, and then the others are benefiting from it. And when they vote against their best interests, and little at a time, their democracy, their freedom will be taken away from them. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's the way that I see it. But they do teach history in school, but every state is different. This is why many don't value their democracy. It seems like they're voting to give it away, in my humble opinion. All right? Look at Trump, for instance, 2024, with an asterisk still. Next tweet. Y'all can tell me nothing about Kerry Washington, my lord. She put on an Oscar-worthy performance in 6888. I want to cry, cheer, you name it. Every emotion available for this film. Okay, we must celebrate the extraordinary talent and successful within our community and don't wait for the Oscars snub. Exactly. Okay, this should be celebrated in all communities. It's American history. But I understand what this person said here. All right, because, let me leave that alone. It was so good, amen. When the troops applaud her, I cry. What a movie 6888 was. So well done. Kerry Washington is a powerful actress. Okay, as a retired Army veteran, some of the best leaders I had were women. I had goosebumps watching her leadership traits and how she conducted herself. I surely had flashbacks of a few leaders I had between 1999 and 2019. There was something else I was watching. It's a podcast where they said that we should vote more women in, because when you look at the men that we are electing, they're just messing around with the position. They're not really focused. Okay, it was so damn good. She was great. People were annoyed by her accent. I thought it displayed her commitment to the role, the craft, and her skill. All right, so that's an ad. Let's go to the next tweet. All right, let's go. I don't want to be behind the computer all day. Next one. As someone, okay, did I put it twice? As someone who was stoned, okay, so that's different. Let's pause this. That's an ad. Is there any more comment? Alright. As someone who has torn Tyler Perry to shreds over the themes of much of his original work and their reinforced stereotypes, I am a huge fan of 6888. This movie is a stellar. The casting brilliant and features a black military history most haven't been exposed to. I never heard of it. I didn't even know the movie was out until I saw it was trending. Okay, I completely agree, Amisha. Tyler Perry's earlier works may have had their challenges, but we can still recognize the grace and his evolution and the contribution he's made to black storytelling with 6888. He's shown up with his full chest to honor a piece of history that's often overlooked. While his voice may have been imperfect at times, Perry has always told black stories from his perspective, shining a light on our experiences. He's giving opportunities to the voiceless, amplify black excellence, and made space for us in an industry that often doesn't. And this is why he had his studio, because Hollywood wasn't open the door for him. So instead, he did what he had to do to open his own studio. I spoke about it in one of my videos on PYTE, not on this channel. This film is a testament to growth and his commitment to telling stories that matter. Thank you for highlighting it so beautifully. I mean, let's give him, well, yeah, they are giving him credit. But with the media or the stories that he put out, different shows, like this person said, is based on his experience. But this is what was bringing in the money. Okay, people goes to the movies to watch it. So this what was building up his wealth to move on to other things, to create the studios, to do other things. So, and plus to be interesting into something. It's part of it as well. Look, he said he wrote it in 2 weeks. That's because he was really invested in it. Can you imagine if you're pushing yourself to tell a story, you're not really into it, it will take you years. So because he was really invested in it and he was really into it, they did the research and whatever and got to spoke with the person who now passed away, one of the person of the 6888. Okay, so he was getting first-hand information and research, whatever, his team who did the research and all of that. But you have to be into it to be able to produce it for someone else to see. If you're not into it, what's good? You're going to force yourself. I don't know if I make sense with that, but that's the way that I see it. When people, for instance, not any of the tweets that I read, when people are bashing him, oh, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And then all I have to say is, okay, you don't like what he's doing. Where is you? You have the same ability. If you have the same ability to produce something that you're bashing him for, go ahead and do it. There's always room for one more. Okay, like I said, no one that I read on those tweets have said anything in that aspect. I'm just bringing a different scenario. All right, Tyler Perry does not read or take credit seriously. He says he just keeps moving forward, and I'm good with that. If I don't like a show, I don't watch. No judgment. It's my mantra. Excellent film production by Tyler Perry with an exceptional cast. His serious drama projects are always quality. The comedy stuff, not so much. That's because you're not into it. There's people who love the comedy stuff. Again, like one of the person said, that's based on his experience. Okay, it's his best work. Remember, not every African American have the same experience as every other African American. When, for instance, certain white people, not all, some, when they talk about African American or when they see someone, they think every African American grew up in the hood or they talk certain way, when everyone have different life experiences just like anybody else. Okay, excellent film production by Tyler Perry with an exceptional cast. His serious drama projects are always quality, the comedy not so much. It's his best work. Tyler Perry has been redeemed. So far, he is forgiven. Forgiven for what? What did he do that was bad that he need forgiveness? Okay, maybe I'm not aware of something. Yes, I said the same about his approach, the cast and everything. He did a great job. Did he have a co-writer this time? Okay, I don't know. He said he wrote it in 2 weeks, so I don't know if there was Okay, let's look it up. Look like he's the only one. Okay, I wrote on Google, who wrote the film 6888? Tyler Perry. Okay, so he looks like he's the only one. Okay, during World War II, the 6888th Central Postal Directory Battalion, nicknamed the 6888, was the first and only unit of color in the Women's Army Corps, WAC, stationed in Europe. The battalion was led by Charity Adams, the first black woman to be commissioned into the WAC. So it looks like Tyler Perry is the only one who voted. Tyler Perry is an American actor, filmmaker. Okay, so that's his background here. I don't want to make this video too long. Okay, so that's that. Okay, word for word, how I feel. Okay, so that's an ad. Let's go to the next one. So it looks like he was the only one. I mean, he did say he wrote it in 2 weeks. So he would say, we wrote it in 2 weeks, but he just say, I would in 2 weeks or something. All right, next tweet. I just watched 6888. They were giving the most demeaning jab in the army because the army saw black women as inferior, but they come out on top anyway. They did a job that no one else could do. I have no idea how my grandma survived during those days. And I hope people appreciate what they have now. Then again, look who we voted for. Some people. Well, the black community did pretty good. I think it was 92%. There's no comment. But the other one who's crying foul now, I'm not on TikTok, but I come across different TikTok videos who's complaining, but yet they voted for Trump. All right, next tweet, and I have one more after this. I'm glad they made a movie about the 6888, but Tyler Perry's writing is making me twitch. When the spirit of the dead white boyfriend is what popped up as her motivation to go on. Okay, I don't know. I didn't watch it yet. Literally just happened as I was scrolling. There's the laugh here. Thank you. I didn't think this was a good movie. All right, different opinion. I thought the actors were great, but the writing left me to be desired. Too much to be desired. Okay, Lena Derriecott met with Tyler Perry and had said before she passed that this was her story. Okay. You complain about her grief over the death, but have nothing to say about the black Private J.U. Bell. You befriended Lena across 2/3 of the movie and who married her. Okay. I need to watch it. Excellent writing and film production by Tyler Perry with exceptional cast. If that part is true, nothing we can do about it. That is true. Yes. I was like, why the F will Tyler Perry mail... Okay. Yes, I was like, why the F will Tyler mail this white man a hero in this movie? Okay. If that's a factual part of the story shared by one of the remaining living women, in addition to the fact that a significant portion involved her befriending a new black love interest and marrying him, did you want him to create something fictional? That's a very good point, and this is a perfect one to stop in, and that was the last one. That's right. This did say the person was alive before she passed away, I think sometime last year. Before her passing, Lena Derriecott King, a real-life member of the 6888, had the opportunity to meet Tyler Perry and the film cast. She expressed her gratitude for their efforts in bringing attention to her story and the stories of her fellow members. Wow, one of the real 6888 members thanked Tyler Perry and the cast for creating this film before her passing. All right, so let's listen. It's only a minute and 1 second. Screenshot, okay?
I would like to say one more thing, that I feel so honored that Tyler has chosen such beautiful women, such talented women to portray us. We just thought we were going over to do a little job. And here we are, 75, 80 years later, being honored in such a way. I feel it's just absolutely making tears come to my eyes, because we thought nobody even remembered us. And Tyler Perry has made it even more relevant that people are being made aware of what we did.
Wow.
So thank you so very much for bringing this out and letting the world know about us.
Wow, that's very touching. Okay. It said that this was never mentioned in history class. We have to learn all this after the fact. Just like with Hidden Figures, instead of just telling us about slavery, what about all the great things we as black people have done? I mean, these people are not about that. Those who's writing the history books for the world to read and understand certain things, they're not about us. Look what happened in Tulsa. Did we learn about that? No. If it wasn't for people like us, African American, who wants to preserve our part in history, many of us will not know about it. I would not know about it. And I was aware about the Tulsa massacre in my adult life, not when I was in school. So this is why we have to tell our story. if we're waiting for others to write it for us, similar like I've said about Megan, because they already started writing the history for Megan. So this is why I'm so invested in sharing some of those tweet discussion, even though, I don't know, whoever decided to subscribe to me, whatever you find values on my channel, I appreciate it. But I feel like we have to tell the story. If we're waiting for them to write it for us, we already know how they're going about it. Look how they're smearing her name. And thank God, I truly have to thank God for giving me the mindset to sort of stop and question myself with some of the things that I was reading, and then for me to put a pause to it and said, let me check further, and to see the full BS that they were doing to her. And right in front of us, they're not ashamed about any of these things. Right in front of us. Princess Diana warned us while she was alive. They were writing nonsense about her. So if it's not up to us to preserve, and I really thank the Sussex squad who were in the fight way before me, because it's because of them I'm aware of some of the things that Megan have been doing, despite the fact that I was fully aware Megan existed. I didn't know she was doing all those things with UN, do the well in Africa, doing all of this. I was not aware of that. Did these people took the time to highlight her work, to say, oh my God, this is a wonderful person Harry is marrying. Look what she has done prior to marrying Harry. That would be a good thing. Did they do that? No, but instead they went on a full-blown Stone Age investigation, finding her Social Security, her who she was dating back in the days, and all of this nonsense. Meanwhile,
Piers Morgan's allegedly extensive knowledge and encouragement of criminal news gathering at the Mirror while he was editor will face a full courtroom examination, a judge has ruled. Lawyers acting for Mirror Group newspapers last week tried and failed to keep the outspoken journalist and broadcaster out of a case alleging the publisher's board turned a blind eye to years of criminal activity at its 3 British national tabloids.
Associated's case. He said this information came from a senior palace source, and he said in his witness statement this was, quote, not gossip or tittle-tattle.
What does that mean?
What it means is that a senior figure in the royal household, according to Mail on Sunday, was passing him information in order to help defeat the Duchess's case.
Meghan Markle's bid to win a summary judgment in her case against the publishers of the Mail on Sunday will be streamed live to the public in what has been called a watershed moment for English and Welsh civil courts. Byline investigates.
Meghan is right there on social media letting people know this is what she's all about. Okay, so we have to tell our story. Okay, it's really unfortunate. My brother, the only exposure I had to this growing up was to Saturday school at our church during the summer, where we learned about Black history. Excellent reporting at This Is the Person and Power. Wow, that's so meaningful. And luckily, they were able to record. Oops, let me pause it. They recorded and sharing it, because look at some of the responses that I was reading saying about the vision of, I didn't watch it yet, about the vision of a white person she was dating. Okay, so like the other comment said, what did you expect them to say? What did you expect Tyler to write? Put someone fictional? If this is what happened and she was alive when the movie I think had already finished, and I believe in one of the recording they said that she saw it before it came out. Okay, so she could have made correction, or was that her or one of those who already passed? So that's with an asterisk, I don't know. Okay, 6888, great women, amazing story, Tyler Perry, awesome movie, thank you for sharing. All right, next one, and this is my last one. Okay, Merry Christmas, Sussex Squad. what to watch on Netflix this Christmas. Okay, so there's Polo, The 6888, and Heart of Invictus, Harry and Meghan, Live to Lead. Is it? Oh, yes. There was. For some reason, I'm always thinking it's on Apple. That's the thing she did with Oprah. But no, this one is on Netflix and Suit. Okay? So that's that. Let's do a prayer. What should we do a prayer for? Prayer for, I don't know, forgiveness? Why the word? Okay, there are many prayers. So let's look at image. This one. Prayer for repentance. Dear Father, I have suffered at the hands of others. I know things have conditioned me and hurt me, but it's not all just about my situation or my past. I've made mistakes, and the denial of my sin is an obstacle to my freedom. I will not be deceived by lies telling me there is no hope. I will not be confused by the world telling me there is no price to be paid. God, you want to set me free in truth. That is why you sent your Son to save me, that I may be free and Christ rising up. Show me, Lord, where my faults are, that you may clean my wounds. Forgive me, Lord. Free me, Jesus. Cleanse me, Father. Renew me, Holy Spirit. In Jesus' name, amen. All right? It was very small. It's hard to read. So that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Oh my God. Is it? YouTube put all of this here. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Okay, these are where YouTube put the commercials to show up. I'm just gonna leave it there. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. I am going to put it at 6 a.m. Right now is 5:26. Let's put it 25. 6 a.m. I didn't do the thumbnails yet. If I do the thumbnails, I'll put it later. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching. That's it. Thank you for watching.